One of the easiest ways to waste an entire planting season is to plant first and test your soil later. I've seen gardeners add compost, fertilizer, lime, and other amendments because their plants looked weak, only to discover that the real problem was something completely different. Before you put another seed or transplant into the ground, there's one simple check that can tell you whether your soil is actually ready to grow. I've been using a 4-in-1 soil pH, moisture, light and temperature meter as a quick way to check several important conditions before planting. It gives me a fast snapshot of soil pH, moisture, and temperature right where the plants will actually grow. I've linked the exact meter in the description if you want to take a look. The first thing to understand is that healthy soil isn't simply rich soil. Your plants need the right combination of nutrients, moisture, temperature, and pH. You can have plenty of fertilizer in the ground and still have poor growth if the conditions prevent roots from accessing those nutrients. That's why soil pH is so important. Think of pH as a gatekeeper. It influences how easily plants can access nutrients already present in the soil. Most vegetables prefer soil that is slightly acidic to nearly neutral, roughly around pH 6 to 7, although individual crops have different preferences. If your pH is significantly outside that range, adding more fertilizer may not solve the problem. You could simply be adding nutrients that your plants struggle to use. Before planting again, test several areas rather than relying on one measurement. A raised bed can have different conditions near the edges compared with the center, especially if compost, manure, or other amendments were added unevenly. Push the probe into moist but not waterlogged soil, and take readings at approximately root zone depth. Don't test immediately beside a pile of fertilizer or a concentrated amendment because that won't represent the overall condition of the bed. And here's another mistake I see constantly: gardeners test the soil once and assume the entire garden has the same reading. It doesn't. A tomato bed, a container of herbs, and a heavily composted raised bed can all behave differently. If you have several growing areas, check them separately and keep a simple record of the results. The second measurement worth paying attention to is soil moisture. This sounds obvious, but gardeners frequently water according to a calendar instead of the actual condition of the soil. "I water every morning" sounds responsible until you discover that the roots are sitting in consistently wet soil. Overwatering can reduce the oxygen available around roots, while extremely dry soil can make young seedlings struggle to establish. Instead of asking, "Is it watering day?" ask, "What is happening below the surface?" Check moisture a few inches down where the roots are developing. If the surface looks dry but the deeper soil is still moist, adding more water may be unnecessary. On the other hand, if the surface looks fine but the root zone is dry, your previous watering may not have penetrated deeply enough. Then there's soil temperature, which becomes particularly important when you're planting seeds. Seeds don't simply need water. They also need suitable temperatures for germination. If the soil is too cold, some seeds germinate slowly or unevenly. If it's excessively hot, certain cool season crops can struggle. This is where checking the soil instead of guessing becomes useful. A warm afternoon doesn't necessarily mean the soil has reached the temperature your seeds need. There's also one more measurement on this type of meter that deserves attention: light. You don't use a light reading to diagnose the soil itself, but it can reveal a problem with your planting location. A vegetable bed may look bright to your eyes while receiving considerably less direct sunlight than you assumed because of a fence, building, tree, or seasonal change in the sun's position. Around the middle of the growing season, I like checking whether my garden is still receiving the amount of sunlight I expected. It can explain why one bed produces vigorous plants while another struggles. This is where the 4-in-1 meter becomes particularly practical. Instead of making 4 separate guesses, I can quickly check the soil moisture, pH, temperature, and the light conditions around the planting area. For example, if a seedbed isn't performing, I can check whether the soil is too wet before watering again. If a crop repeatedly struggles despite good fertility, a pH reading gives me another clue. If seeds aren't germinating, soil temperature becomes worth investigating. And if seedlings are stretched and weak, checking the amount of available light can help identify the problem. But there is an important limitation: a basic meter should be treated as a screening tool, not a replacement for a laboratory soil test. If you're trying to determine precise nutrient levels, organic matter, salinity, or other detailed soil properties, a proper laboratory analysis is much more informative. For routine garden checks, however, these simple measurements can prevent some very common mistakes. After correcting a problem, don't expect the garden to transform overnight. If moisture was the issue, plants may recover as roots regain healthy conditions. If pH needs adjustment, changes usually take time. And if soil temperature was holding back germination, waiting for suitable conditions can be more effective than repeatedly reseeding. The biggest lesson is simple: stop treating every plant problem as a fertilizer problem. Before planting again, check what's actually happening in the soil. Test different areas, record what you find, make one correction at a time, and give the soil enough time to respond. That small habit can save you money, reduce unnecessary amendments, and give your plants a much better starting point. If you want an easy way to monitor these basic conditions, I've linked the 4-in-1 soil pH, moisture, light and temperature meter in the description. Try testing your garden before your next planting, and you may discover that the answer was hiding beneath the surface all along. If this video helped you,